Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be providing an update on grid battery metals. This is one we've previously covered on the channel. There's been a number of key developments at the company since our last update that I wanted to walk through in today's video. Now, before we get into that, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a big help to myself and the channel, especially in getting this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comments section below if you're currently holding shares of Grid, your outlook on the sector overall, and thoughts into next year. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be providing an update on grid battery metals. This is one that we initially covered on the channel quite some time ago. There's been a number of key developments, not only in the sector itself, but specifically with this organization that I wanted to talk through in today's presentation. And I found this article from stocknewstrends.com that does a great job of really laying out a very bullish thesis for this company moving forward. Now, the article itself is titled "Nevada's Role in Domestic Lithium Expands Amid Demand for Battery Metals." This is a trend or topic we've talked about extensively on the channel as we're seeing EV and battery cell adoption really around the world, but specifically in North America. As the lithium and copper markets grow, grid battery metals, which trades here in Canada on the TSX Venture under the ticker CELL or CELL, and in the United States on the OTCQB under the ticker EVKRF, is a relatively under-the-radar speculative mineral exploration company with multiple projects across North America. Now, I just mentioned there's been a number of key developments with this company. One of the most recent was their exposure to copper through the addition of a copper project in northern central British Columbia, which actually just came out on August 29th, talking about Grid Battery expanding their land holdings and adding that additional copper project to their existing portfolio. Now, in addition to that, this article lays out 6 other reasons why they feel you may want to consider learning more about grid battery metals, and that's really where we're going to focus our discussion for the remainder of today's video. Now, the first reason here is obviously growth in renewable energy. Again, this is a theme that we've talked about extensively on the channel, with the International Energy Agency predicting that lithium production needs to increase 40-fold by 2040 to support the full transition to renewable energy technologies, which of course include electric vehicles or EVs, wind turbines, and solar panels. Second would be their proximity to major lithium projects. Now, we talked about the Clayton Valley lithium project beside ALB's Silver Peak mine in our previous coverage. This is the only lithium brine producer in North America. And in addition to that, very close proximity to Century Lithium, who just came out with a very positive feasibility study outlining or highlighting a 40-year mine life. Now, the third point here is the national security and military applications, with the US federal government putting extreme importance on domestically sourcing some of these materials. That really leads us into the fourth point, talking about supply chain resiliency and coming up with alternative ways of sourcing these metals and materials other than China's current dominance. Analysts have also started picking up on the grid battery metals story, including Fundamental Research and Harbinger Research. And finally, the management team. So Grid Battery Metals has an experienced management team. Tim Fernbach's got over 30 years of professional experience in financing public and private companies, as well as understanding the complexities of lithium exploration and development in Nevada. Now, really the key theme undermining this whole investment thesis is the central role lithium is going to play in tomorrow's modern world. We've seen this across a number of different applications, including electric vehicles, energy storage systems, including batteries and battery terminals, smartphones, tablets, laptops, computers, even down to earbuds and wearable technology. So lithium is being used at an insatiable rate, with EV growth accounting for about 90% of the overall demand growth in lithium by 2030, really due to its lightweight nature and electrochemical potential, benefiting the auto industry in a huge way, especially in the electric vehicle applications. Now, the electric vehicle battery market itself is expected to grow from about $76 billion this year to $573 billion by 2033. with the expansion of the EV battery market in the United States alone expected to grow from $9 billion this year to $78 billion in 2033. So this is obviously grabbing the attention of major automotive companies who need to source lithium and these input materials to be able to build these electric vehicles and the battery systems that power them. Now, in addition to that, as mentioned earlier, the US government has placed strategic importance on lithium in the United States. Currently, the United States relies heavily on lithium imported from countries like Argentina, Chile, China, and Russia, which we've talked about in prior videos. Now, due to obviously some of the ongoing geopolitical tension and risk around the world, the US, rightfully so, has wanted to find onshore or domestic sources for a lot of these rare earth minerals, with lithium, as we alluded to earlier, being one of the strongest growth categories, expecting demand to increase 40x, as you can see, compared to others like graphite, cobalt, nickel, and manganese. Now, as a result, companies like Grid Battery Metals have definitely started to receive investor and media attention as the domestic lithium supply becomes critical for national security. Now, interestingly enough, and something we don't talk a lot about on the channel, is the military application of lithium batteries as well. So not only is this making a big impact in civilian life, but lithium batteries are also having a major impact in terms of their use with the US military, and securing a reliable supply chain for this lithium is important not only for national security, but also for technological process. So as demand for lithium continues to grow, the US obviously sees this relationship or reliance on China for a large portion of the global lithium as a huge risk. As an FYI, China currently supplies about 80% of the world's battery cells and has a strong presence in the EV battery market, meaning the US desperately needs to hasten the development of supply chains internally or domestically to bring some of this production online. So companies, for example, like Grid Battery Metals, which have a lithium exploration project located here in the United States in Nevada, definitely has a role to play in this increasingly important lithium market. Now, speaking of Nevada, the other reason this is a super important state is because it's really become the epicenter for US domestic lithium. This is the home state of Tesla's Gigafactory. We also have Surge Battery Metals, Texas Spring Lithium, Volt Canyon Lithium, and Clayton Valley Lithium all operating in the state as well. And although proximity does not assure success, strategically locating or positioning yourself in close proximity to existing and successful operations definitely is a path to success in the mining and exploration field. Now, Surge's initial drilling efforts have identified lithium-rich clay deposits with notable mineralization, and more recently, in September of last year, showed lithium grades reaching up to 8,070 parts per million on the property. So this is extremely exciting for Grid Battery Metals, as again, they're in very close proximity. Now, in terms of the Clayton Valley lithium property, this is another one of extreme interest due to its proximity to some of these other key projects. And notably, they've just reached an important milestone in the Clayton Valley project with the completion of their second phase of their 2024 exploration plan. Now, for more detail, I would encourage you guys to go in and take a closer look through this article, but this phase involved a comprehensive soil sampling program and construction of an advanced geologic model. In early May of this year, the second phase of infill sampling was completed, with assay results as of the end of August still pending. And here you can see the Clayton Valley project again is strategically located between these two major lithium projects, being the Silver Peak Mine and the Century Lithium project, which we talked about in today's intro. Now, another topic we talked about earlier was Grid Battery Metals' expansion or acquisition of a copper project in northern central British Columbia in Canada. This project spans 17 claims across 27,000 hectares. It's strategically located, again, similar to the other projects, in a historically rich exploration region dating back to the 1940s. And this gives Grid Battery Metals more exposure and diversification specifically to copper, which is another extremely important metal or material in a lot of these manufacturing processes. Now, finally, I wanted to leave you with some additional information about the research firms that have initiated coverage on Grid Battery Metals, specifically Fundamental Research Corp, who've got a 19-year history and track record of analyzing over 650 publicly traded companies. And they cite Grid Battery Metals. Management team was the previous Surge Battery Metals management team and played a key role in discovering Surge Battery Metals' North Nevada lithium project before founding Grid Battery Metals and acquiring the Texas Spring Lithium project. And again, you can see the proximity of Grid Battery Metals' Texas Spring project compared to Surge Battery Metals' Nevada North project, and why they're so excited about this Texas Springs property. So for those reasons, you guys, I definitely think Grid Battery Metals may be worth a closer look, especially if you're looking for exposure to the lithium, copper, or EV sector. There's a lot going on internally at this organization, a lot of great updates since our initial coverage, not to mention the overall optimism or tailwinds we're seeing for battery adoption worldwide, along with the insatiable demand for electric vehicles. So with that being said, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts on Grid Battery Metals Incorporated, specifically if you're already holding shares. Again, they trade on the OTCQB in the United States under the ticker EVKRF, or here in Canada on the Venture Exchange under the ticker CELL, CELL. If you're still watching the video at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. It really does help get this content to other people like you who may find value. If you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to join, and let me know in the comment section below if you've got any additional thoughts, comments, questions about Grid Battery Metals and your outlook for this company moving forward. That's all for now. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.